Okay, so Rod, you've just rung the bell for the start of Saturday Ashes at Lords. How did it feel?
Well, it would have felt a lot better had we been in a better position in the game, I must say. But you know, you've got to put up with those things when you're an Australian supporter these days. Bit sad, really, but anyway, it was good fun ringing the bell. I never ever thought I'd do that. Very grateful for being asked.
And it's special, particularly on an Ashes Test match?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's what it's all about. I think we love beating you as much as you love beating us, and all of that. But it's, I mean, the fact of the matter is it's the home of cricket here, and I mean, it's always nice to be here.
And what memories do you have specifically of playing here?
Well, the best memory I had obviously was in 1972 when we won, when Bob Massie took 16 wickets. I was actually Bob's roommate on that tour, and it was an amazing performance by him. Dennis Lillee bowled beautifully from the other end and took the other 4 wickets to fall, and perhaps a fairer split would have been 10 all, 10 each, because they both bowled magnificently well. Greg Chappell got 100 in that game, and it was my first Test match at Lords, and one I'll never forget. I also played in the Centenary Test here, and I'll never forget Kim Hughes's lofted straight drive off Chris Old that finished up in the second tier of the stand we're sitting in now. That was a very special moment from a special player. Look, it's all been good. All the visits to Lords are good, and you know, it's nice to see the sunshine as well. That's the other thing. It's just such a beautiful ground when the sun's shining.
And what did you enjoy about playing here? Obviously, there are quirks with the slopes and things like that. Did you find it easy to keep at, or difficult?
Oh no, I didn't find it difficult to keep at. I mean, it is different keeping in England to keeping in Australia, but you know, it's we played a lot of games before the first test that we played in Manchester in 1972, and you know, I think that's unfortunately what the players don't get the opportunity of doing now. But we were able to acclimatise pretty well, and the ball seaming around and dipping and dropping. And by the time I got to the Test matches, it was almost second nature, standing back to some pretty good fast bowlers.
So talk me through a bowled Lillee caught Marsh at Lords.
Well, I can't remember too many of them, to be honest, but I mean,
there was a lot of them.
Was he at Lords? I don't know. Probably. Look, Dennis is was the greatest fast bowler that I kept to, obviously, and I think of that era, he was the greatest fast bowler, and he did provide me with a lot of chances, because you know, anyone that bowled sort of around about 90 miles an hour on a perfect length, swinging the ball away from the right-handers, you know, I mean, that's always going to provide the wicket-keeper with opportunities, and most of them were like that. He was a very smart bowler. He was a great bowler, great heart. I think that was probably, of all the things he had, that was his biggest attribute, believe it or not. His heart and his willingness to bowl for the team, I thought was fantastic.
And finally, what did you enjoy about kind of behind the scenes at Lords? You used to be in the pavilion, and what was enjoyable about that?
Well, the lunches, my God. Nancy used to be the lady that put on the lunches here, and she was fantastic. I believe she's passed now, but she was a wonderful character in her own right. I mean, the stewards, some of the stewards are still on. The guys that, you know, were here when I played, and that everyone's so respectful, I think, of the players. I think that's something that, you know, a lot of people probably take for granted, but it's as you get older and you understand where, you know, this new generation is coming from. I just hope that they'll remember the respect that's been shown to them by the people at this wonderful cricket ground.